Okay, hello everyone. Um, it's Julie from Inspired Health and Wellness, and Sue has asked me to give you a little bit of a yoga routine for neck and shoulders. So I want to make this routine simple for everybody, whether you are a yogi or not, because most of us have issues with neck and shoulders, myself included, and I don't work at a desk job, and yes, I am working from home, but I'm still not huddled up on the couch or in the bed most of the time doing my work, although on occasion I do. But um, students are often sitting that way. Hairdressers, people like myself who are estheticians, we're very often shoulders forward and neck forward, looking at what we're doing and doing things very much forward in front of us. So we can all use some help, whether we're at desk jobs or not, even driving. Even if you're sitting in a car driving all the time, you quite often have that shoulders forward posture. So we can all benefit from this. And so I wanted to make this really simple. So I'm going to show you a morning routine that you can do before you even get out of bed. Yes, before you get out of bed, as long as it doesn't bother anybody else who might be in the bed with you. If that's the case, you could just move to the floor beside the bed and do this there. So it's a great way to start your day, and it's how I start my day usually. Okay, so the first thing to do is to lie down on your back and bend at the knees. So my feet are flat on the floor, and my spine is nice and long, and my arms can just be relaxed at my side or on my belly or wherever, whatever works for you. So from here, we're going to do something called arch and release, and it's just the low spine that is consciously moving. So our buttocks are staying glued to the mat or the mattress, whatever surface you're on. So on the inhale, arch the low spine away from the mat. The belly will come up in the direction of the ceiling. And then on the exhale, just release the low spine towards the mat. So you don't have to actively press it in. So let's do this about 5 times. Inhale, arch. Exhale, release. This is not a big movement. And we're not rushing through this. So we're going slowly here, noticing any sensations in the body. Any issues that are happening peripherally, according to somatics, have their beginning in the center of the body. So we start from the center out. And once you've completed your 5, then just stay in stillness here. Just breathe. Let the body melt into the mat. And then you could bend your knees in to your chest. You can stay here. You can choose to wrap your hands around your knees and rock from side to side. Especially if you're on the floor, this can be a very nice massage for the whole spine. And depending on how close you have your knees to your chest, it will massage different parts of the spine. And coming back into stillness when you're ready. And you can have your feet on the floor or lengthen out on your legs. You have options. And let's just slide the shoulder blades along the floor on the inhale so they come up towards the ears. And on the exhale, let's just release them back down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Don't be afraid to really squeeze those shoulder blades way up high and let them come back down. Let's do 2 more. And then just settle in. Just notice how your body feels. Nice gentle way to wake up and bring some movement into the body. So let's bring a little bit of movement into the neck here. So on an exhale, turn your head and look towards the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, look left. Inhale back to center. So let's do 2 more complete cycles of this. Now obviously if you have any troubles with vertigo, you're not going to do this because it's going to stir it up. Or if anything causes you any pain for any reason, you need to stop. Well, let's just take another pause here. And then you can come up into a seated position. So a nice way to do that is to bend at the knees, roll over to one side, and use the palm of the top hand to push yourself up into a seated position. Now, if I were on my bed, I would probably just sit on my pillow because I want to sit nice and tall. I want the spine to be long, but a folded blanket will also do the trick. So basically, we just want the spine to be long so that the tailbone isn't curling underneath us, which can happen if we don't have something just to elevate the buttocks a little bit. And I'm sitting cross-legged. If that doesn't work for you, you can have your legs lengthened out in front, or maybe one knee bent and one leg lengthened. Again, it needs to be comfortable for you. All right, so let's do some shoulder circles here. So it's just what it says. I'm going to move slowly and mindfully, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears, back, down, forward, and up. So it's a slow, mindful motion so that we can really feel the stretching, the releasing, the potentially cranky spots, maybe some cracking, especially first thing in the morning. And once you've done 4 or 5 in one direction, then go ahead and switch and do the same number in the opposite direction. So this time we're bringing the shoulders up and forward, down, back, and up. So you don't have to raise your hands off your thighs. I just find for me, I just like the way that feels. And once you've completed your 4 or 5, just come into stillness and just sense here how the shoulders are feeling now. They may have some things to tell you. Now we're going to do something that I like to call Tai Chi arms because it feels very Tai Chi-ish to me. So inhale, bring the arms up about level with the shoulders. They don't need to be higher than that. And turn your head look towards the right palm and bend the left elbow so the left palm of the hand touches the left shoulder. So it sounds really complicated with all the directions, but it's really not. Once you get going, there's a lovely flow to it. So on the inhale, bring your head back to center and bring the right palm to the shoulder, right shoulder. Exhale, turn the head towards the left and lengthen out in the left arms. So obviously we're not going to keep doing it that slowly, but just working with the breath. Inhaling center, exhaling looking. So let's continue to do this, working with your own breath. Still not moving quickly, not flopping the arms around here. Moving with control. And also sensing sensations, even right down into my forearm, even into the thumb. And remember, in Sue's video, she talked about how issues with the whole arm and even into the thumb can originate from the neck. So fascinating. So to me, this movement makes that very obvious. So we want to do an even number, so we'll end up by looking left. Then bring the head back to center. You can open up the right arm and lower both arms down. And let's just sit with that for a few breaths and see how that feels. You can close your eyes if you wish. My shoulders had a lot to tell me there. I don't know about you. Lots of conversation happening there. So continuing to stay seated, we're going to come into something called monkey arms. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little bit so you can see my arms better. This is all this technology. It's all a work in progress. Okay, so still with a nice long spine in a comfortable leg position. So I'm going to bring my hands up towards my shoulders so my elbows are bent here. And on an inhale, raise the right arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale it down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale it down. So you can continue this, working with the breath. And we're working different parts of the shoulder area and the neck area. Gathering information. Noticing that one arm may lengthen more than the other. You may feel differences in sensation. You probably will from one side to the other. And once you've done an even number on both sides, you can bring both hands down and just rest them on the thighs. And again, taking that pause just to notice any sensations. And obviously, if it causes you pain to lengthen the arm right up to the ceiling, you don't go that far. You just go as far as you can go. Feeling a stretch but not pain. So now we're going to take that another step further if this works for you, and if not, you can skip ahead into child's pose. So from here, let's take our left hand and plant it down into the mat. So we're really grounding down in that left hand. And then you can lengthen the right arm up towards the ceiling. Now, if your right arm is screaming at you that, no, this is not good for us, then just bend at the elbow and have your hand at your waist. Okay, so this is a great option. So on the inhale, no matter which arm position you have for your right arm, let's think about lengthening in the upper body. And then on the exhale, let's bend towards the left side of the body. So this is a side bend. It is not a forward bend. Side bend. And we can work with movement here. So we can inhale back to center and exhale into the bend. So you may find that you have a little more opening in the side body each time you exhale into the side bend. I'm going to try it this way now. And let's do one more to the left. Inhale back up to center, exhale, lower the arm down. And just take that sensory pause. Feedback from the body. So feedback in the breath area as well. And in energy level. Okay, let's switch sides. So grounding the right hand down into the mat this time. Choosing your position for the left arm, and it might be different than the right arm. Could be. So inhale, lengthening up in the spine. Exhale, bending to the side. Now, one thing that I want to mention here that often happens when people have their arm extended up is that they tuck their head forward. So this is not great for the neck. So if you're a head tucker, stop. We always want the neck to be in line with the spine here. And we're still not moving really quickly. We're a little bit quicker than we were before, but we're not going fast. And let's do one more side bend to the right. And exhale that arm down. You can take your pause, your sensory pause. And then we're going to come down into child's pose. Now, some people don't find child's pose to be a comfortable position. So if that is true for you, then you can come back into little boat, just like we did at the beginning. So I'll show you little boat, and I'll show you child's pose, and you can decide. So in little boat, we're on our backs with our knees bent and closer to the chest. And then you can choose to wrap your hands around your knees and stay in stillness, or you could choose to rock side to side. You could even make some circles with the knees. Make sure you go in both directions if you're doing that. Or you could circle them together, so you have lots of choices. So that's little boat, and that might be the one for you. If child's pose is comfortable for you, then I invite you to try child's pose. And obviously you can change this from day to day depending on how you're feeling. So with child's pose, we have some options too. You can have knees closer together or wider apart. If they're wider apart, you can release the chest towards the floor and allow the forehead to rest on the floor. Or you could choose to put a couple of cushions between those wide knees. Rest the chest on the cushions, turn the head to the side, and you can decide what you want to do with your arms, but you could potentially just give a little hug, a gentle hug to the cushions. that can be quite restful. If you don't like that option and you want to lengthen out along the floor, like I said, knees wide or together, but your forehead doesn't reach the floor, you do want to have that sense of release. So you could stack your hands and rest your forehead on them. You could stack your fists and rest your forehead on them. You could take a cushion and rest your forehead there. So we want to spend a few minutes in child's pose or little boat. So that's why it's important for you to find the position that's working for you. And it could change from day to day too, depending on how you're feeling. But basically what we want is to have a sense of lengthening in the spine and some release as well. So if your knees hurt, you're probably not going to be able to focus on feeling lengthening and release in the spine. So you'll want to come over into little boat. And spend some time just softening the body. So allowing each exhalation to soften the body. And this is our last pose, so you can stay here as long as you like. I typically spend, 5 minutes in the morning, but depends on the day. I might spend 20 minutes in child's pose, so totally up to you. But as you can see, it doesn't take a long time to do this, and maybe you could start with just choosing 3 of the choices that I've given you. 3 choices and see how that works for you. Doing those first thing in the morning before you get out of bed or at any time during the day, especially now that you're working from home, you can lay on the floor at coffee break for a few minutes and do some of these movements that are going to be helpful to you. I have a different routine that I'm going to give you for nighttime, and that will be in another video. So take care. Happy stretching, and have healthy necks and shoulders. Bye.